feel like it.
Right.
Didn't feel like that we could talk. It didn't feel like any of that. So once that kind of stuff happened, and you start feeling alone, then you call your buddy on the phone.
Yeah.
And then when you talk to your buddy on the phone, sometimes it turns sexual because your friend is usually the best person for you to be a lover with.
Mm-hmm. Well, like they say, you know what I'm saying, your friend, that second person, whenever a person goes outside of the relationship and end up having that second person, they oftentimes end up being the one who end up being the best friend, the person you can confide in. They know you better. Because you can't always say everything that you would like to say to your wife because somehow, some way...
You want her to feel it.
Right. Because she's not really as open as... Or let's just say the relationship itself is not as open as it should be. You know, so then you end up having that side person who you can kind of relieve, I guess, in a way. You know, where you can express certain things of interest that would normally bother, you know, your wife, your girlfriend, that, you know.
Right.
So it's like, you know, that side person is the person that always ends up being a person that you can relax.
Right. So let me ask this question, since at least two of you have said that, you know, it started out as a friendship, the emailing or whatever you did. Was there something? It sounded like there was something missing. There was something not right at home. Is that what the way? Is that understanding the?
That's how it all starts.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't go outside of your house unless you're feeling something that's not at your house. I mean, it's just a normal thing. If other people are giving you some kind of a feeling outside of your house that you're not getting there, then you start going for the good feelings instead of going for what you know is basically good for you. You start going for things that just the feeling instead of being at home arguing all the time. You'd rather be out, even if you know she don't love you the way this woman that you know love you. You're just dealing with whatever's going. You having fun and doing that kind of stuff. When you get home, you can't really be the person that you want to be because you got to deal with her elements too.
So let me ask this question though. You know, let me just fast forward in terms of you were emailing this female. Were you texting her or sexting her, or?
I was texting.
You was
I was texting her.
Did that turn into sexting?
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
So, at that point, did you feel something was wrong with this? That I'm going too far with this? And did at any point did that lead to anything else besides just sexting?
By the time that I was sexing her, I didn't care about the relationship. By that time, the relationship was basically already over. I was just living there just to be living there. So it wasn't really like I was there emotionally. I was just there physically. So then when I found somebody that I thought I could talk to, and I went and talked to him, and really had an emotional bond with him. Then when you realize that this person is kind of the same way as your wife, you kind of got to think about things. Got to either go one way or the other.
Marcy, you want to add something to that?
Well, I think the main thing is, I think you know, like Melvin said, a lot of times you're going outside of your current relationship because you're looking for something else. But I think at the same time, we really got to look at ourselves and say, okay, have I actually told, you know, my wife or my woman how I feel? And what I am missing or what we're both missing in a relationship. Maybe I'm not getting from her what I need because I'm not giving her what she needs either. So I think, and I do think when you go outside and you find somebody that you're able to talk to, it's not all about, oh, I'm talking to this person because I want to have a relationship with her, or I'm talking to this person because I want to start sexing her. I think it's more of, I'm talking to this person because I can actually talk to her and she won't turn around and relate it to herself. And I think that's the thing that married people have to worry about, or people in relationships. The thing that we worry about is when you talk about something that's bothering you, they're always related to themselves.
That's
okay?
right.
It's not something that I'm...
Tell it.
The woman says, oh, I must be doing something wrong. I'm not doing something right. So that's why it makes it hard for a lot of men to talk to their women about issues that might be bothering them. Because it turn around and it's about them rather than it being about you and how you're feeling.
Well, let me ask this question to the fellas. If do you guys feel that if you're just sexting or you just emailing a female back and forth for being flirtatious or whatever you want to call it, but you haven't crossed that physical line. Do you feel like that's just as bad? I mean, do you see it in the same light, same context, or do you
as what?
as physical, actually having that physical, intimate connection or relationship?
Well,
You want me to answer?
I think Melvin said something that was perfect though, because Melvin said, if it's a secret, then it's cheating. In some form of fashion, it's cheating, and I don't think somebody, your woman or wife, is gonna look at it and say, "Oh, okay, he was just texting a female, and they were just talking or whatever." It's not gonna come out like that. It's always gonna come out, "Oh, you were texting someone and it was a secret, therefore you're cheating." The reason why you didn't tell me is because there's something going on. I mean, but that to me, that's an obvious reaction to somebody finding out that they're doing something that you knew nothing about. And it has something to do with a woman that your wife doesn't know and your wife doesn't have any type of connection with. So of course she's going to think the worst, and that is, that you're cheating.
Any thoughts on that, Cornsey?
I mean, I agree. I mean, to some degree or another, that what's not known can be considered, or it would be perceived as cheating.
Have you ever been in a situation where?
Yeah, but then also, like Mel said too, I mean, oftentimes, when you don't feel completely comfortable, there's no way that you can be a part of a marriage and not feel completely comfortable with what's going on. Meaning, it needs to be complete openness. You need to be able, you guys both need to be able to express fully where you're coming from, how you feel. There should never be a limit. And there always seems to be limits, on how, we're able to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And you figure, like, when you marry somebody, you're in a relationship with somebody because you guys are actually growing and evolving together. You guys are bringing out your better selves as well as your worst selves. And we should be able to be together in a way where we're exploring that. But most times people reach their threshold and they begin to digress. They go into a different place, because they're really not ready for all that marriage really entails. And that's when, we have to start doing, that introspective work. How many people in relationships are really doing that introspective work, that are really looking within themselves and asking themselves those hard questions, that's saying, who am I? When it comes down to who I am, and then who is this person that I'm dealing with, and then how do we work together? Because, that's the challenge. The challenge is working together, and finding various different ways to find solutions. Because that's what a relationship is all about. Is exploring just everything that you'll encounter.
I hear you. Let me ask you guys, the ones that have had that experience. What happened? Can anybody want to let me know or just tell?
Lack of openness.
I mean, not what happened to get you to that point, but what happened after you did it. What was the aftermath, so to speak?
Mistrust.
Mistrust.
It'd be the whole mistrust thing,
Did you guys stay together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's staying together when the relationship ain't right? When it's not, 100%. But then to me, that kind of reflects if the relationship was ever really 100%.
Well, I want to add on that too. Like, who really goes into a relationship 100% of really who they are?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, if let's just say in America, right? Primarily in America, if we all was 100% of who we really were in a relationship, would we even be married? Would we even be in that relationship?
That's what
how many percentage of men would love to be in an open relationship?
Right.
Right?
So you're saying men come into a relationship, they're not totally honest?
No.
Nobody. Not just men.
Exactly.
Men and women. Nobody is coming 100% with who they truly are. We coming with who we want that person to perceive us to be.
So are we talking about initially coming into that relationship, or are we talking about at some point? Because I agree with you guys. I think initially we're coming in, we're not revealing everything about ourselves because, in one sitting you can't reveal that. You just meet a person, you just get to know that person. But I think over time, you are starting to allow that person to see more of you, and vice versa. So there are certain things that that you withhold or you keep back because you're still trying to fill each other out.
When you boyfriend and girlfriend.